Welcome to the Possibility Action Network podcast. I'm your host, Stephen Middleton, aka Possibility Man. We're committed to bringing you guests who strive to better people's lives and serve as a force for good in the world. Our guest today is Jeena Earthiva. She is a transformational coach, a conscious artist, and a mind DJ. She helps people take charge of their well-being and unleash their full potential. She is the founder of Conscious Music Code, which offers experiential participation in her workshops with music for sensory mind reprogramming in our subconscious, which produces lasting results. Jeena, welcome to the show today.
Hi, so lovely to be here. And thank you for that beautiful introduction and covering so many points. And really excited to have this conversation journey with you.
Well, look, I've been looking forward to this for a long time, and it's no wonder I'm so excited. I'm tripping over my own voice. But anyway, I want to remind our viewers and our listeners to follow, like, and share this podcast wherever you find it. Now, Jeena, in reviewing your background, I noticed that you are a transformational coach, a conscious artist, and a mind DJ. Can you tell us about each of those items?
Yes. All three have one thing in common, that all of these three things were born out of lived experience. I did not want to become a transformational coach because as a career choice. I mean, it turned out like that, but it was something that my life was taking me towards, because I went into the deep side, crashed, and we'll go into that later, but there's a history behind it. And then I realized, unless we transform, happiness is going to always be a delusion. So take and who will transform me? Only me, right? No matter which coach or person or whoever I go to, they can't do the work for me. I have to do it. And so when I started doing the work that I do with Conscious Music Code, I said, so essentially, who am I? I'm actually, for the sake of terminology, I call it transformational coach. But for me, if I'm coaching someone, it's they who have to do the transformation. They have to choose to do the transformation and to live through the transformation, consistently be in that process of transformation throughout. And my job is to hold the space and do everything, share whatever wisdom that is passing through me. So that's the transformational coach part. The conscious artist is a very interesting thing. It is the basis of everything that I do. A very close friend of mine had committed suicide, and the only thing he left behind was this note, which was just the words of a certain song, just 4 lines. And it was a song that was all about stepping into darkness, being pulled into darkness, and where that can take you. That happened in 2010. And it disturbed. I was, of course, sad about him dying, him jumping and killing himself. It was horrible for me. I'd never experienced anything like this in that time. But what's amazing is, more than the sadness, I was disturbed about the fact that, did the song have something to do with it? So, and I know today, of course, like, if somebody is in that level of depression, it's not the song that is causing the depression. But the truth is, songs can program us. Music programs us in a very secret way. We don't even realize. If you keep listening to a certain kind of songs, a certain kind of music, I call it a musical diet, then it's like putting food in the stomach and it programs the way your stomach works. It's the same damn thing with music, If you're not conscious about what you're listening to, it can program you in a way that is not empowering, in a way that's not serving you. And from the artist side or the creator side, we have to also consciously create, because, okay, I may be sad today and I write a sad song that's great, but I must remember, this is my thought and my opinion, that this will reach somebody someday. And somebody standing on the brink of that, on that edge of that floor, waiting to decide whether he should jump or not, could be triggered by my song, which was sad, and I just wrote it because I just wanted to bring out all my emotions, and then I just released it. I didn't think consciously about how it's going to affect that other person, right? So consciously creating, consciously consuming, and therefore I call myself a conscious artist, trying to help people awaken to this reality that what you put in, what you listen to is becoming your inner reality. And the third one is I call myself a mind DJ sometimes, because what does a DJ do? He's mixing songs, one song to the next one, and you're dancing to it. And then he knows which volumes to reduce and which volumes to increase, and how to change the frequencies in such a way that the songs actually blend into one another, and there's no break to your dance and you're just enjoying it. Our minds are like sound equipments. They are playing thoughts, emotions, beliefs, like deeper. We are constantly hearing this inside of our heads, whether we realize it or not. Now, which one we want to increase the volume of, which thought should be louder and which thought should be softer, and which thoughts should just be muted and deleted like permanently. Right. All of that manipulation, if someone else is doing it for me, or my mind is just running like a monkey on its own, then again, happiness is a delusion. I'm never going to reach it. But if I become the DJ of my own mind, and I can play the thoughts at whatever volume I wanted to play it, then no one else is going to take charge of my mind's feelings or thoughts. So I can be and that's what, while I call myself the mind DJ, actually what I want to do is make everyone their own mind DJ. So I hope that answers your question.
Yeah, I love it. And we'll dig deeper into each of those as we continue on. Now, was music just accidental in your work, or was music a part of your life before, you do what you're doing now?
Yeah. So when I was very small, music was very normal to me. Like I was just a good singer, just like that. And I thought it's nothing special because it came so natural to me, right? And I always knew I was a performer. When I was really small, I used to get up on bed when people would come home, and I would just act like I'm the singer and I'm a big performer, and take a comb or a bottle and, start singing into the imagined microphone and get everyone to clap for me. So that stuff was on, in my mind when I was growing up. But my real love was towards dance and movement, and for certain reasons, that's a long story by itself. I'm not going into that. I didn't continue with the dance the way I was going at it initially. And then the only thing that I immediately went towards is music, because it just came so naturally to me. So I learned Western classical piano, and I was always very, very creative with my approach towards singing or music in general. I used to listen to all sorts of sounds and songs and music from all over the world. I did not understand this word genre. For me, it's like I can listen to a hard rock song and then a ballad and then a country song and then an Indian classical song. And for me, it just flows. There's zero distinction. And so my singing career really took off when I was in college. I was studying my master's at that time in computer science, and I didn't want a job. I didn't want that IT job. I just didn't want it. I love science, I love tech and all that, but not for a job, no way. And so the singing happened, and I started getting calls professionally, and it was a big deal, to get those projects at that age. And I was earning enough money, so I didn't need a job, and I just finished my course, and I just went into singing, and everything just went up, and my career was great until I lost my voice. And when I couldn't sing anymore and the doctors couldn't help me at all, that's when I knew that there was something happening, something shifting. And that's the beginning, or that's the birth of birth time of what I do now.
Okay, so you were a performer, a very successful performer.
Yes.
And you lost your voice. So when you lost your voice, Jeena, what was that experience like for you? Did you have any emotions around that, or was it just, oh, well?
Oh, yeah. It was like I hated music at the time, because any song I would hear, anything I would hear, which was sonic, I would try to hum along with it, and I couldn't even do that. Like, I could speak, but I sounded like a goat, like that, It was so bad. The sound of my own voice depressed me more than I already was depressed with about the whole thing. So, but I thought, okay, the doctors will figure something out and there will be some medication, something will work out. So I kept having those hopes. And in the meanwhile, I was getting offers from the Bollywood industry, which is the big film industry in India. And to get offers from Bollywood is like a big deal. I was getting them and I couldn't take them up. It was frustrating, And during that period, I went into deep depression, anxiety attacks. I couldn't sleep. I became an insomniac. I couldn't digest food properly. My hair started falling. Everything just went wrong. And I only could see darkness, literally. It's not even a metaphor. That's exactly what I could feel, as if everything's dark all around me. And the most important thing was not all this. The most important thing was I lost my identity. I was identified with being a singer. So my name at the time used to be Sukanya. So Sukanya is the singer. Now, without her voice, Sukanya equals what? That void just made me go crazy. However, in this period, I was already an active practitioner of this form of Buddhism that I practice. It's a very, very practical philosophy of being able to convert all the terrible things in your life, making use of the terrible things, converting it into a power source for your growth, and then inspiring others through your own example. And these are very nice concepts to talk about, but when life hits you very hard, then all these concepts go out of the window. But that's when I realized that I had to really, if I call myself, so like I'm spiritual, I'm this and that, I have to really live it. I can't be a fraud, I can't just say these things and then not live it. So that process of, asking myself, what is it? Who is it that I am? And that's also the reason why before we started, I asked you why you do what you do. And that why needs to be clear for everybody, for them to reach or to unleash their greatness. And then the answer came to me after, I don't know how many days of, the answer was clear. I'm not the singer, the musician, the artist. I am those things on top. But the base default layer is I'm somebody who wants to inspire people with every single ounce of my being. I want to see people transform and blossom into the best version of themselves. This desire is equal to my identity. And so, my name, Jeena Earthiva, is from that Earthiva is just a word I created, that I'm born out of the earth to serve the earth, and that part you cannot take away from me. No destiny, no karma, none of these external elements or whatever can ever shake this identity of mine. You take away everything from me and I'm still going to serve the earth.
That's
so
great.
I
wanted to, go ahead.
Yeah. No, I'll just end this part just saying that when I awoke to this, I started playing music on my computer through the computer softwares, and I had no idea about music production. I had no money to train myself in it because I was eating for my savings. But like a child, I just started working on it, and I didn't know what I was doing with it. I just wanted to make some music and help people transform their inner state. And that's when the magic happened, really, for what I do now.
Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, so let's go back to your adopted name, Jeena Earthiva. So how did you know this was it? Or were there other names, or was this the first one that just popped into you, or how did it happen?
No. I had sheets of A4 size paper, trying this, trying that, blah, blah, blah. Jeena is my nickname, so that part was easy. And Jeena also means in Hindi to live. So that was that part was easy. And I wanted a second name, and I'm thinking, so this is a rebirth, right? The
Yeah.
whole idea of renaming myself was to realign myself with the identity that nobody can take away from me. And that identity was that I want to inspire and encourage people. So I went through rounds and rounds of this, and nothing. I just was not happy with any word that came to my mind. And then I tried to make up words also, nothing. And finally, I remember one day I was chanting. So we do this chanting morning and evening, and I was in some trance. I don't even know where. I lost track of space time, and one of those moments when you're really resonant with the forces of the universe. Suddenly, I kept, so in Buddhism, there's a concept of bodhisattva of the earth, which means that these are people who literally emerged from the earth, ordinary people. They are not enlightened, huge, special people. They're just ordinary people who have ordinary problems like everybody else. And they take on more problems only so that they can transform those problems and show other people the power of life. And that's the concept. And that word just kept going on and on and on in my head. And that word earth stuck. And then Earthiva came, and in 2 seconds, I knew Jeena Earthiva is my rebirth. There was not one iota of doubt, and I launched it.
Yeah, well, it fits. Yeah. So you've talked with a lot of people, Jeena. So when they come to you, either, in a business corporation or just for one-on-one, what kinds of things do we face today? Just a couple of them. What do we face? What are we facing? Is it burnout? Is it something else? I mean, what kinds of things are you seeing in your practice?
There are 2 levels of answers I can give you. On one level, I can say, I can tell you the answers from the perspective of effects, which is burnout, people from a workplace scenario. Let's say burnout is a common one. Problems with one another, like not getting along with leaders or colleagues, etc. at the workplace. You ask children, they're all just suffering from ADHD or something like that. Normal people, they're lonely, or they're going for vacation after vacation, nothing's rejuvenating them. So that's the surface level effects. And the other thing, as I said, I can answer in 2 layers. The other layer is the deeper layer of the cause. And when I talk to people, I see a burned out person, and I immediately start sensing the causes, not because I have some special power. It's just that I've developed that way of studying subconscious signals, like nonverbal communication. So I see that the cause of the burnout of this person is not the leader or the manager. Could be, those are triggers. Cause of the burnout is because he or she has not tackled things that need to be tackled within before coming to the workplace. So they're carrying all that, then they're carrying the load of the leader saying whatever they are saying or putting pressure, etc. And again, pressure is a very relative word. What is pressure for me may not be pressure for you if you're well forged. And I'm more about forging the inner life. So no amount, you can put all the pressure you want, like a diamond, I'm not going to crack. So I'm not very fond of, making people sugarcoating and saying, oh, yes, it was the boss's fault. Yes, it's the company's fault. It's that person's fault. Yes, they do have faults, no doubt. But it's our fault if we are not, first of all, forging ourselves. And how many people are making an effort to take action on their personal growth before a burnout? Once everything is really bad, everybody wants to do this. They want to join a yoga class. They want to go for a retreat. They want to go for a vacation. What are you doing when everything's fine? So that's a whole topic. But that's what I see.
I like the phrase you just used, well forged. Tell us more. What do you mean by that? And what do you mean by that? Well forged.
It's again coming from my spiritual training. Like when we do a physical workout, our trainer will say, work on your core. And what they mean by that, much later I understood what they meant by that was the abs and things like that. So our body has a core. And if this core is weak, you can do all the leg workout and the hand workout and the head workout. If your core is weak, then something is out of balance, right? Same way, I think on a life level, I'm not even talking about mind or body, I'm saying on a life level. if the centering of life is not there, or if I'm not able, by well-forged, I mean a person or reaching a state where things hit you really hard and you're sad, you're affected for a few moments, but there's a centered core strength that is undeniable and non-negotiable. It's just there. And it can't just be there if we don't work on it. So that's the forging process. And for me, the forging process is pain. Welcoming pain, welcoming all the shit and saying thank you. So when people talk about gratitude, I find them talking about gratitude. Please write in your journal what you're grateful for today. So people start writing, yeah, I have a good body, I have a house, I have this, I have that. So that's only the positive stuff. But what about the gratitude for the shit? Because that's the stuff that's helping you grow. I have a house, I have shelter over my roof over my head, I have food to eat. Those are basic requirements. Then I have extra this, all these good things. Great. Those are actually not helping me grow. They are just support systems. That's wonderful. What's actually helping me grow is the shit. So I have to be superbly grateful for that. So forging is, for me, that process of being grateful, being able to celebrate the pain, to reach that perspective where you can celebrate the pain. It's not a one-day easy job. Yeah. But it needs practice, very hardcore practice. And people are very afraid of practice. People want everything quick and easy. And I get that. I also want many things quick and easy, but I'm not afraid of practice. So that's what
well, I tell you what, I like your fire in addition to everything else you share. So now, I like your use of the phrase conscious artists. So, music is out there, right? Yeah. But then you say, you're creating music consciously to do what?
Right. So I'm creating music consciously to remind people of the power of themselves. Now you would say, you would ask me to create a party song. And in a party song, you don't write things like, oh, believe in yourself or something, right? How do you make a party song conscious? How do you make a love song conscious? My answer to all these questions is you can make any song conscious. You don't have to make it boring and very spiritual. And, there's this whole field of music called conscious music, and it's very beautiful, like people writing wonderful songs, empowering messages. But that's like a separate stream. What I want as a conscious artist, or I want more conscious artists who are making a normal, pop song conscious. So, for example, if I would write a love song, instead of saying, I can't live without you, the messaging is going to be, I am very capable of living without you, but I just choose not to. I'm very happy on my own, but you just add another layer, without which I can still operate, So examples like this. So bringing a conscious layer to things is not about sitting in the mountains and just meditating. That's there, but that's of no use if you can't bring it into real stuff. And that's why in conscious music code, if you hear the music, it's not like some sort of just meditative sounds. Okay, that stuff is there, but I want it to be contemporary. I want it to be fun. I want it to be exciting and real for real people, not the ones escaping into here and there escaping is good sometimes, but not always.
Okay. Yeah. I just have a couple of more questions around this. And then I've already asked you if you would do a live, experiential training for us, and you agreed to do it. But I want to ask you, so is this what pulled you out of your bleak time? Okay. So
in fact, when I lost my voice and I was doing this, I was telling you how I was trying to make music. I had no idea what to do. I was just pressing buttons on the software. It's because I had no training in that music production, and I was still trying to make music. And somehow I was trying to make music to help other people or empower other people. I didn't know how I would do it, but that was the intention. It was a very specific conscious intention. Somehow I stumbled upon this idea that Music affects us. We all know it. We don't need science to tell us. We know it.
Yeah.
In a good way, in a bad way, that also we know. But what we don't realize is the effect of music on us is not just dependent on the music itself, but also our association with the music. So I play you a certain song, and that song is from, it's your favorite song. You have beautiful memories associated with it. Now, tomorrow, God forbid, that song is playing in the background and some bad news comes to you. Now, that favorite song of yours is ruined forever because your brain will associate that bad news with that song. So you see, the association matters. And this was the basic idea. And then I started working with this like a child, maybe if I had been trained in music production, I wouldn't see it that way. And yeah, I started creating music, started documenting a process. I don't even know what the process, I didn't know what the process was heading towards. All I knew is I was coming up with something. And over 3 years, I slowly started getting my voice back. And if I was to do it on someone today, it doesn't take 3 years. At that time, I was just learning on the go, and I didn't even learn any of these techniques or nothing. I was just doing it out of inspired wisdom. And on the 3rd year, I got back my voice completely. Still remember the day when I felt like, hey, I can sing properly like before, in fact, better than before. And then I asked myself, how did what happened? And then I realized that this entire process had been bringing me out of my subconscious fears and doubts. And I could see the layers inside of me that needed transformation, and doing that transformation on a body as well as mind level. So I came out of that through this process. And that's when I realized, okay, this is powerful. And then I still waited 6 years to finally release my new name and the concept of conscious music code, because for 6 years I was battling self-doubt. I went back to singing in Bollywood and everything was great, but I knew I had to release this conscious music code. My mind was telling me, oh, but it could be a fluke, it just worked on you and it wouldn't work on anyone else, because self-doubt is so loud and so annoying. But it started working on people I did it with, almost underground, didn't tell too many people. I was afraid that people think I'm crazy to say these things. But finally, in 2019, I launched myself as Jeena Earthiva and Conscious Music Code, with 0 followers, 0 subscribers on social media. Like a new person suddenly entered the earth. And yeah, I was fearless. At that time, I was fearless. I was like, what is the worst that can happen? Everybody will hate it. Okay, but let's go for it.
Yeah. Well, I'm glad you had forged yourself and pressed on.
Yeah.
In other places, I've heard you talk about music inducing like a conscious high. What do you mean by that?
I think that's what when I was going through that process of making music, it was like I was going high, and higher than all the other highs that I knew about, or I had experienced. And it was so simple, it would happen within seconds. Some sounds were taking me somewhere, some other sounds were taking me somewhere, and I could make like this cocktail of different beautiful emotions and thoughts at will. Not that someone else is telling me. I can choose which emotion to attach with the piano and which emotion to attach to the drums. And when we demonstrate it, I'll show you. And then how to make a cocktail and feel amazing out of it. And after 5 minutes, you feel like you've gone on the most amazing trip and you're back feeling empowered. And it, unlike the other highs that we hear about, after the end of that high, you come to a really lower than the previous low, right?
Yeah.
This one, the high kind of stays at an internal level. And that's why it's conscious, because it empowers you while making you feel even better than all these drugs can do. I can openly challenge anybody who's doing anything to get to that high. And I want to just tell them, welcome to the world of conscious music code. Try it. I'm not going to say I'm a very big skeptic about many things, even with my own self. I was a skeptic of conscious music code myself, because that's why I took 6 years to test it out and to see if it really works. It can, and I'm not saying it because it's my business or it's my creation. I'm saying this because this is just my mission. It came through me this realization came through me. I formulated it into a certain structure, turned it into a technique. Now it's my business and I want to make money and fame and all that. But the purpose is to serve people. And I know you can get to that high just sitting here, just like that. You don't need, and your annoying partner can keep shouting or screaming. Your crazy boss can keep putting all the pressure. Your body, which may be ill, may continue to be in pain, but you can enter a high just like that, sitting here.
Yeah, that's so gosh, that's powerful for sure. What I gleaned from you as I was studying around you is that, and tell me if this is correct, it's like a person has the internal power to shift his mental states. We do a lot of talking about mental states these days, right? But you're telling us, hey, you can shift your mental state. You can use music to shift your state at any time.
Absolutely. And you choose what state to go to and how and everything. You become the...
So you become the...
you become the protagonist or the hero of that shift. Not that the coach is doing it, I let the person feel like they are the ones making the shift.
All right. Jeena, are you ready to give our audience an experience?
Yes, absolutely.
Okay.
Very excited.
Okay, whenever you're ready. Okay.
All right. So I'm already sharing sound. Just let me know if you hear this sound and then I will get right into it. Do you hear the sound?
Yes, I hear the sound.
And you hear my voice over it, right? Okay.
Yes.
So I don't want to give an introduction to what this exercise is about. Nothing. I'm just going to go straight into it and let you have the experience. All those of you who are hearing this, just listen to the sound of my voice and simply kind of absorb the sound, not just with your ears, but absorb it with your entire body. And you can only do that if you just let go of everything that's happening in your mind and just submerge yourself, immerse yourself in the sound, settle into the sound. Slowly and gently close your eyes as you do that. And look at where you're settling with this sound. Is it a place? Are you floating with the sound? Are you lying still with the sound? And now, when you feel good, I want you to think of a certain situation, and we're going to do this purposely, so bear with me. I want you to think of a situation in your recent past which made you slightly uncomfortable. You didn't like it very much. It probably stressed you or made you were just, not happy about that situation, and you felt some sort of emotional or mental discomfort. And when you think of that, I want you to listen to the sound. As you listen to the beats, associate these beats and the sound with that problematic, stressful situation. Choose a situation that's not too stressful, because this is a short exercise, but something midway. And notice, as you think of that situation, what's happening in your body. Where exactly in your body do you feel the discomfort? The stress, the irritation, frustration, or the fear, or the doubt. Make a note of that spot in your body. And make a mental note of how you were reacting in that situation, how you were not just feeling, but also reacting outwardly. And now we're going to completely move out of it. I want you to hear the sound and shake it all off. Like just shake your body, your head, your neck, your shoulders and your chest and your tummy a little bit and your hips. Forget that we spoke about the problem completely. Yeah, we're going to go into a completely different thing right now. Once you've shaken it all out of your system, I want you to focus on this beautiful sparkling sounds that you hear. And now think of a situation in your life where you felt that there is hope. There is a possibility, maybe many new possibilities, that this could be the very beginning of something amazing. You know that spark that happens within you when you feel that possibility in your life, you feel that hope, and it becomes real? Choose a situation or a memory where you felt like that. And feel that hope traveling through your body. Let it build up inside of you. And let this sparkly sound become symbolic of that hope you're feeling right now as you think of this situation. It's all possible. Something new will happen. Something beautiful will happen. And you feel renewed as you hear this. And now on top of that, we're going to add another layer. As you hear the sound of the violins, become aware of the tempo of the violins. It's like a tempo of something moving. And I want you to, on the spot, maybe move your hands and your legs in a way as if you're walking on the spot. Even if you're sitting, that's fine, or you can stand up and do it. Spot walking. And let this violence remind you of someone or something or a book or a thing that inspires you immediately. When you think of this person or you think of that quote or you think of the movie or this book, it just immediately motivates you and inspires you and makes you move forward, helps you to start moving forward. Choose any one such element in your life. And as you think of that memory or that person or that thing, keep moving your body as if you're walking and moving. Inspiration, motivation, on top of hope and the possibilities of something new. Now see your entire body filling up with that hope and with inspiration. Where in your body do you feel most inspired as you think of that one person, thing? Let your movements become a little bit bold, intense, and as you hear the new beat, I want you to think of one situation where you felt really self-confident and you felt like, yes, I can do it and I'm worthy of it. I deserve it. So therefore, I'm going to do everything to do it. I know I can do it. And keep the movement going. This time, it doesn't just have to be a walk. I want you to just move your body in any direction you like, in any way you like, as if you're just in a room alone and you're just dancing in your own crazy way and nobody's looking at you. And even if they do, you don't give a damn. Let your body move because the body holds all our emotions. When you free the body, you free the mind. Think of a situation where you are really confident and feel that confidence in your body right now as you move. One time when you just knew that this is it, I'm going to do it. I can do it. So now you have the confidence running through your veins, literally. You have the inspiration from the violence and the memory of one person or thing that inspires you. And then you have the sparkles of hope, the belief that something new is possible. And your body is moving, which means you're taking action. In your own mental landscape, you are taking action based on hope, inspiration, and confidence. And now in this state, I want you to imagine once more, as you hear the little beats in the background, I want you to imagine that one problem situation that we started out with all these positive emotions in your system, in your entire body, in your mind. If you were to enter the same stressful or weird situation with all this, as you're equipped with all these positive emotions and thoughts, how would you feel? Does this situation still control you? Does the situation still stress you out? Or is the situation too small to bother you? Take all your confidence, take all your inspiration and motivation, take all your hope in your body, and then walk into the situation and see what is the new reaction you can create within and without towards that situation. And then, as you hear the sounds, imagine that all the positive emotions are entering you through all directions as if they're circling around you. Hope is circling around you like a planet. Inspiration is circling around you like another beautiful planet. Confidence is circling around you like another really beautiful and strong, bright planet. And all their auras and energies are entering you. They're like spraying you with confidence, inspiration, and hope, with beautiful colors. And you are just spiraling up towards them. Everything in the universe is spiraling. It's a decision to make whether we're going to spiral downwards or upwards. For now, we've chosen to go spiraling upwards. The problem is there, the situation is there, but you are spiraling upwards. You're in that beautiful trance and that high. And so now you can walk into any situation with this confidence, with this inspiration, with this hope. And you are in charge of how your mind reacts. Be with the sound, move your body, enjoy the music, let it get soaked into every cell of your being. And let me tell you that your body remembers what we are coding into it right now. We are coding into your body this understanding that this music is empowering you. So even when I stop playing the big sounds, your mind can replay those sounds. Your mind and body cannot just replay the sounds, it can replay the emotions that we encoded within you through the sounds. Hear your mind playing all those beats. It can play it. We have speakers inside our minds. It's like a sound system. Notice how your body feels. And the first spot in your body where you felt the initial stress or discomfort, touch that area now. Touch that spot. Notice how that spot is feeling. The body never lies, so my best way of testing something is through the body. And as you touch yourself in that specific spot, tell yourself that you are the hero of your transformation. It's not the music that's doing the job for you. It helped you, but you went through this brave, courageous journey of transforming your state of mind. And send a strong signal to that part of your body, never ever to give in to an external situation. Your body is sacred. Your mind is sacred. You're capable of greatness that you don't even know about. And with that thought, take a deep breath. Hold and release. And as I fade the sound slowly, keep breathing in and out in your own pace. And hold on to that positive feeling. It's yours. You own it. It came from you. Keep it going. The music can go, but the feelings don't have to go. They are within you, deeply embedded inside you. You can call them back anytime. And when you're ready, you can slowly open your eyes.
Jeena, that was so empowering. I'm not going to say too much. This was so empowering. But I'll ask you, is there anything else you care to share?
Yes, I just want to leave everyone always with the message that the power is within us to transform any reality from anywhere to anywhere, from anything to anything. And once we do it in our minds and bodies, no amount of external stuff can get into it. And the second thing is, there is so much greatness that people have no idea about that is hidden within them. If they just stop blaming everything outside and just take responsibility for their lives, there's so much we can all do. I'm also in the process. I'm learning every day, but I'm committed to it. And I would just want more people to be committed to that process. And yeah, of course, I would love to share that I'm always around for anyone step on this, to start this journey of using music as a transformative tool, where it's not music that's doing the job, it's people that are doing the job. So consciousmusiccode.com is my website where you can access all these musical mind hacks. JeenaEarthiva.com is my personal website where you can get in touch with me, etc. So if someone wants, they can just begin right away without any doubts. The time is now, life is only happening now. It's not going to happen tomorrow or day after. It's happening now. So that's it. And I want to thank you, Stephen.
Well, thank you. I'm just filled up. I'm overjoyed. This was amazing. Well, folks, there you have it. You've been listening to the Possibility Action Network podcast. Our guest today has been Jeena Earthiva. I'm your host, Stephen Middleton. Until next time, good day. You are not alone, just keep on.